Lovely Jane Birkin, you may be gone, but your style will live forever. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Makeup Maria from Miami. I focus primarily on vocally pro-choice beauty brands. If that's not your thing, feel free to click away. Today we're going to test out some new makeup. We've got the MAC Studio Radiance Serum-Powered Foundation. We have the Tower 28 concealer called Swipe Concealer that a lot of people are very excited about. And then a new beauty brand that I didn't know about called Violette FR. And she's a French makeup artist. She's the one that inspired me to do the Jane Birkin intro. In case you didn't know, Jane Birkin was a British and French actress, singer, and a style icon. She had a unique Parisian style that earned her the title of icon and muse. She became known for carrying a wicker basket as a handbag everywhere she went until her husband, French director Jacques Doyon, famously and intentionally ran over the basket with his car. And so the story goes that on a flight, she complained that Hermès, the French design house, didn't have a bag big enough for all her stuff when Jean-Louis Dumas, the head designer, happened to be sitting next to her. The Birkin bag was born and now sells for between $10,000 and $60,000. It was a storyline in Sex and the City, and then it was repeated in And Just Like That, and not too well, in my humble opinion. That's why I carried the wicker basket purse, which is a purse I purchased in, I think, New Orleans while I was on vacation, so it came in handy for this video for you. Okay, so today we're going to try on the MAC Studio Radiance Serum-Powered Foundation, Fond de Teint. And I have it in the color C4. It's a nice bottle. It's sturdy. Can you see it? Okay. I would recommend you go to the store to get color matched because the color, they changed the categories, MAC changed the categories, and so they're a little darker than they were previously. So I purchased it online, had to go into the store and exchange it and get something and get color matched in order to use this. So, okay, let's do this. It's got one of those little doohickeys. What I typically do with foundations is I should shake it. I read somewhere that you're supposed to shake it. And it came with these little sponges that I really don't have any idea how to work it, so I don't know if it's supposed to be wet or dry, but I guess I can try it. It also came with this serum, Hyper Real Serumizer, which I haven't heard of, but I'm not going to try that today. I'm going to stick to my typical primer, which is the Chantecaille sunscreen primer, which I love, but it is not vocally pro-choice, so I'm looking for another one. So anyway, the way I like to put on foundation is I typically put on just a drop on my hand like that, and then I take a sponge and actually that's not true. What I do typically is I have a mirror in front of me. I think I'm going to switch mirrors just because I think I need to be able to see better than my little dinky mirror that I love, but it's still kind of small. Okay, so, and I also have on these patches from Violette FR, which is another brand that I'm going to talk about after the foundation. So here we go. So basically what I do is I just put dots. Well, you got to take these off, of course. So I can see that the color right off the bat looks different than in the store when I got color matched, but we're gonna go with it. Looks pretty orangey actually, which I'm not a fan of. But we're gonna see how this works. So this is what I usually do with foundations, is I just use a sponge and, oh, I forgot to use the sponge. All right. I use a sponge and I pat it in because I have large pores. So I feel like that gives me coverage. Okay, so it's definitely lighter coverage than I expected. The color is actually blending in just fine. It's definitely glowy, but definitely not a lot of coverage at all. I guess it probably can be a little buildable. I'm going to add a little more, but first I'm going to try their sponges and see. They're dry. I don't know if you're supposed to use them dry or not. I looked online to see if there's a way to do it, but so I'm just going to pat it on my forehead here. See what this does. This does nothing. You probably have to use it wet. This does not work for me. Okay. And obviously the shape doesn't really work either. It just basically pulled off whatever I had. My forehead is red now, so let's not do that. Let's try this again. Let's put another drop. That's probably way too much. So we're just gonna put a little bit here, a little bit around my nose, and see how this goes. See how it builds up. So builds up a little. It's definitely nice and glowy, which is nice. I have dry skin, dry mature skin. Not crazy how it looks right there. It's like a little patchy. Okay. Probably a little bit my fault since I didn't really exfoliate before putting on my primer. Let's dip a little bit more here. Okay. So my first impression is that I may have some issues with this foundation. I mean, it's really hard to know. Lots of times it takes several tries before you figure out the best way to wear a foundation, and I'm always on the hunt for a new foundation, and this one has a lot of claims. It's a buildable, weightless, 24-hour hydrating foundation that smooths texture, evens tones, and blurs the look of pores. Does it do that? Kinda, sorta. I have a lot of large pores on my T-zone. I don't know, I think my skin is not loving it, you know? It's like, I mean, all foundations look great if you have perfect skin, but if you don't have perfect skin, like moi, then, you know, it's not always successful, but I'll keep trying. That's the foundation. What do you think? Okay, so now that the foundation has settled a little bit, I'm actually not hating the color. It's definitely not orange anymore, but it's a nice, my skin color a little tiny bit deeper, which is good because it cancels out the red, and it does diffuse the pores a little bit, I'm seeing on the sides here. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel about the foundation. Let's try the Tower 28 concealer, which everybody's going crazy about. Tower 28 and MAC are vocally pro-choice. So let me show you the applicator, your typical doe foot applicator. What color is this in? This is in 7, K-Town. Okay, so I'm going to try this here. I don't put on a lot of concealer, and this is not gonna be brightening, but I'm just gonna try to use it in the areas where I typically need a little more help with the coverage, and just use it, let it a beauty blender sponge to blend it out. So let's see how this goes. Okay. It does feel very light, like you can't really even feel it on your skin, which is nice. Seems to play well with the MAC foundation. Definitely has good coverage. I think this is nice to wear with the MAC foundation because the MAC foundation is kind of light coverage, and this concealer has definitely probably medium to full coverage, I would guess. That's not bad. I have dark circles, but they're here, and so I typically wear highlighter or a light colored shadow to hide it as opposed to a concealer. Okay, the concealer's nice. It's very nice. I like it a lot. Wonder if I could just put a little bit more on my cheeks because I see a little red coming through. I think I saw someone online wear it as a foundation, which I can see that being the case because it wears nicely. Okay, so thumbs up on like a first impression, thumbs up on the concealer for sure. And like I said, I'm not a big concealer person because, well, it would be kind of nice because I don't have dark circles underneath my eyes, but actually I'm gonna have to blend that in a little more. Because I don't have two dark circles underneath my eyes, I don't put a lot of concealer because typically what happens with concealer under your eyes is if you're mature, it just makes you look older and it immediately creases. This one is starting to crease, and so I'm trying to blend it, pat it in with my finger, with the warmth of my finger, because again, oh well, I definitely need more over here too. Because I think that if you don't have dark circles under your eyes and you're mature, you're better off not even wearing concealer under your eyes. Like, put your foundation up as high as you can and then blend it out. Put a little more right there. This is typically a place on my nose where foundation doesn't stick. I mean, this is very large pores, so no matter what I wear, this happens. So that's not bad. That helps. Okay. I like the concealer. The concealer, thumbs up, first impression on the concealer. What do you think? The next brand we're gonna try out is Violette FR, and she is a French brand. This is the packaging. I thought it was really lovely. Avec Amour, the aesthetic is really, really sweet. And these are the patches that I was wearing before. I think I saw Lisa Eldridge wear them in a tutorial. I like the idea of them being reusable, so that's good. This is kind of a leftover from my purple video. If you didn't see that, I'll leave a link below. Make sure and check it out. It's fun. And this is the, what is this? Yeux Paint. And it's a lovely lilac color. Shoot, what is it called? It's a liquid eyeshadow liner in the color Nuage de Lilas. Okay, and so like I said, this is what I was hoping to get when I was going to do my purple video, and I didn't. It looks very pigmented here, so I think I'm going to put some on my hand first and then blend it in with my finger. Let's see how this goes. Purple is so, oh, this is nice. Purple is really pretty on brown eyes. So, you brown-eyed folks, pay attention. We're the majority anyway, so Okay. Very soft, very, very nice. This formula is really, it's very forgiving, at least in the beginning. I think it dries matte, but so you have a little bit of time to blend it in, but once you do, it's quite nice. I like the wash of color on the eye. This is fun. I like it. I like it. Okay. What do you think? I'm loving it. Maybe. Yeah, no, I have this one. I wanted to compare it to the matte eye paint, the About Face. Where is this? Okay. The About Face. But that, I think it's a very different color. I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah. I think it's a different hue. It's not gonna work. But that's a lovely color, a lovely, more muted type of purpley color. So I think this is very pretty. I may put some shimmer on top. So I'll be back. Okay, so my initial thoughts about the 3 beauty brands are that I definitely don't think I'm going to be a fan of the MAC foundation, and I'm really bummed about it because I returned it once because I had the wrong color, and now I won't be able to return it again. But I'll keep playing with it and see if maybe underneath a different primer or with other products it will respond better, because the color is not bad. The color is actually quite nice, and it does do some blending of the pores, but for the most part I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be a fan of that. As far as the Tower 28 concealer, I think it's a lovely concealer. It's really nice. I would like to try it as a foundation just because I think that it gave a lot of coverage and set down better actually than the MAC foundation. So I think that I may get another color that's lighter so I can do some brightening under the eyes. We'll see. I like it. I recommend it. At least first impression wise, I definitely recommend it. The Violette FR, I love, love, love it. I really did not expect to like it as much as I do. It's very soft, it's blendable. I mean, you have a little bit of time. It's not forever, but it's a real pretty color, and I think that you can do a lot with it. You can just put it as a wash of color. You can put it up higher on your eyelids if you want. I think that it's a nice product. It's not inexpensive, but it's a nice product. I think I would recommend that. I just like her aesthetic. I like her French Parisian aesthetic. I think that the little eye patches that I wore at the beginning of the video are sweet. I cannot stand bad packaging. It just makes me crazy when you can't open it. I mean, oh, here we go. Give me Rare Beauty any day of the week. She has the best packaging. See, she has stuff. I know it's because she has lupus and so she has trouble with dexterity, but I really wish more beauty products did this because it's just so much better to open and close than this was. But I do like the idea of these being reusable. I have no idea if it made the serum, you know, sink in more. I'll have to keep playing with it and I will let you know. Reminder to do all the YouTube things, like smash that subscribe button, add it to your notifications, comment below in French for fun if you want, and abortion is healthcare. Wear sunscreen. Peace. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.